People were mad.
People were a little bit mad
no reason.
at my controversial statement.
Controversial.
It wasn't even that controversial.
But we talked about the hardest adjustments when it came to friendship.
Yeah.
What are some hard adjustments that you had living in Korea when it came to community, the sense of community?
Oh yeah, I didn't have a sense of community. At least with Koreans, I didn't. No, there was. Oh no, that is a lie. Actually, I did.
In Daegu?
No, it wasn't in Daegu. So the first community I really had was the foreign teacher community. And the foreigner community just in general. And then I really did try to find like a Korean community, but it was really difficult. I'm sure, you know, as a foreigner, finding a Korean community as a foreigner can be quite tough.
Extremely, yeah.
But there was one community I joined for a while. Unfortunately, I got too busy to keep doing it. But that was the running club. It was a running club. It was called Sunday Seoul.
Yeah.
And they're still going. And can you guess which day they run?
A Sunday?
Yeah.
Oh, I thought.
It's pretty much in the name. Sunday morning, 8 a.m. every Sunday morning, well, most Sunday mornings. Did you get it?
Freak.
No, it's still
This is
going.
a strong. It's a fat mosquito too. It's annoying, but yeah.
No, so they meet every Sunday morning at about 8 a.m. You run for like 5 kilometers or so. They've got 3 different speed groups.
Yeah.
And yeah, you guys just chill, warm up together, run together, and then have a coffee afterwards. And you chat and
that's
chill,
nice.
and then like you go home. And then when there's like a running event, they'll
Yeah.
they'll register as a crew, and sometimes they have like a little crew tent at
Yeah.
the. You know, if it's like a marathon, then you know you get your little crew station.
Yeah.
So everyone's there, taping each other up and massaging and getting ready, and
Yeah.
you got snacks and.
Oh,
You
that's
got your own,
actually really
we've got our
nice.
merch. And,
Yeah.
Yeah, I did that, and that was great. A lot of people are using running clubs for like dating purposes. I was just there because I love running, and I was running by myself on one Sunday morning, and I saw them running past me, and they all looked so happy. And I Instagram stalked them.
Yeah.
I found them. I reached out, and they were like, "Yeah, cool, join our crew," and I did. Yeah.
That's actually that's so cute that you
Yeah,
found that.
join a sports club of some kind, but do it with good intentions. Don't go there to date. All right, just
'Cause everybody now
you got
uses running
Bumble
clubs
for that or something.
Yeah, but I think the whole connotation is like you want to meet that person in real life, like quote unquote naturally.
Yeah, well, quote unquote naturally, okay, sure, but then
Yeah,
like,
but-
you know, you can also do it at a bar, a cafe.
True. Like especially if you're not a runner and you're joining a run club to meet a person.
Yeah, see,
It sounds like a struggle.
it is a struggle, and also like if you and then you have to also consider this. Like, okay, you start dating in the run club, and if it all goes all right, what
And
then?
you can't go back to that run
You
club.
can't go back to the run club.
Gotta
so
find another
that's
one
just
now.
like just maybe
Too much, yeah.
Maybe
if
don't do
if
that.
it happens organically, you can't say anything about that. But definitely shouldn't be joining just for that.
Yeah, no, if you're joining for that, like I'm not.
Yeah.
I don't look at you with respect.
Yeah, join it because you respect running.
Yeah.
Okay, the hardest adjustment you had when it came to dating in Korea.
Ooh, you're asking the hard
We're
questions
getting
now.
to the dating questions.
Oh my god. Okay.
Take us back to like your dating life though in Korea.
My dating life in Korea.
Yeah, how it's been. Because now I know where you're at right now.
Where I'm at right now, I'm in a good place.
such a-
I'm in a
such a
great
good
place.
place.
Oh my god, best
Such
place
a-
I've ever been right now.
Listen, I hope to be in that place soon too someday.
And like I look back on young Matthew, I'm like, it all worked out, kid.
Oh,
It's all okay, kid.
I love that.
Yeah.
Snaps all
I'm so
around.
happy.
Last time Matt was here, we did talk about dating a little bit.
Oh, yeah.
And at that time, it was not how happy he is right now. And
Oh,
now
yeah.
just seeing how happy and excited he is, I just love when my guests are winning, y'all. But
I'm winning, guys.
Let's have Matt tell it. Yeah.
So dating in the beginning was, I don't know, like that one was interesting because I wasn't quite sure what I was doing really. I didn't understand Korean culture, so it was quite a challenge. But I think after
Yeah.
the years, like I kind of got used to it.
Yeah.
And then I would say like the more recent dating, up until I met my current partner, a lot of that was you would go on apps or you would meet people in real life, and it would always be about like you would first try to figure out, okay, I guess if you date in Korea long enough, you start to recognize certain traits, certain things you don't want, especially as a foreigner, right? Because there's some Korean, I count myself lucky. There's some Korean concepts that don't apply to us, and we can just
Very
kind of like,
much so.
we can kind of avoid them because we're Weigugins.
Yeah, we're like, oh, I'm a foreigner.
they're like, oh, that no, I'm not about that, fam. I'm not doing that.
It's not my culture.
It's not my culture. And so there's certain personality traits and certain things that when I would recognize them in the date, I would say, okay, I'm not going to pursue this anymore. And a lot of them would just, when they would start off the date by asking about salary and
Whoa.
yeah,
On the first date?
On the first date, or they would tell me like, okay, yeah, after this I'm gonna go on another date, which is fine, by the way.
Yeah.
When you first start dating and you're dating other people, and then you want to like figure out dating after you get into a relationship is wild.
Crazy.
Yeah, but if you're still like in the flirting stage,
Yeah, not exclusive at all.
yeah, I had a personal rule, which was if I can have the first 3 dates like. They're just like a trial. But if I go on a 4th date with somebody, then I can't be on dates with other people.
You can't have a roster anymore.
Yeah. So like that's kind of that was my personal rule. Just because I wanted to make sure I didn't like fall into the trap of just seeing too many people.
Having a roster. Yeah.
Yeah, exactly. That's also not good.
I've seen it happen to people, and I'm just like, that's disgusting.
Yeah. But I think the biggest difficulty with Korean culture was the fact that there was a good thing and a bad thing. The good thing was that, for me at least, in Korean culture, even though they are passive, they're not like very direct. If you go on 3 dates or if you date for just a little bit, you can basically say, okay, like let's become a couple.
Yeah.
Which in a way, like for me was kind of good because I'm not good with not having things in detail, not knowing what's going on.
The unknown,
I
yeah.
don't like being in ambiguity. It's not really for me. So that was a good thing. The problem is that people are very quick to break it off too.
Whew.
So there's like the 100-day rule. It's also what I had. So the 3-date rule and the 100-day rule, which was my 100-day rule was I would not tell anybody about my girlfriend until after we hit the 100 days.
Wow, because you just never knew what
You never knew. Like there were times when we'd been on day like 73 or whatever, and then
Yeah.
they'd be like they would just ghost me. And also they had said I love you already. Which, by the way, they said that very easily.
They say it so fast.
They say it so fast, yeah.
It's so fast. Yeah.
Yeah, so that's why I wouldn't say anything to anybody for the first 100 days.
Yeah.
I just leave it until I knew, like, okay, we hit the 100 days, and I would actually say, like, oh, listen, we've hit the 100 days. I'm gonna tell my friends about you now. I'm very open about what I want to do.
Yeah.
In my relationship.
It sounds like you're really good at communicating
Yeah.
what you want.
So I think in the beginning it was the challenge really was figuring out, okay, what things I'm not really keen to have in my dating life, and then also figuring out my own style and my way of communicating that.
It had to have been a lot of first dates that for you were just like,
So
yeah,
many
I'm never
first
gonna see
dates.
this person again. Type
So
of-
many, like it was getting exhausting.
Oh, was it?
It was, but I was kind of lucky. I wasn't like one of my colleagues. So I had a colleague when I was still teaching, and I was teaching in Seoul at that time. And she went on a blind date once a week.
Damn.
Almost once a week, she would be on a blind date. I was like, girl, why are you doing this to yourself?
Was she just trying to get
I mean, it was great
married,
for me
or-
because she always had like some kind of tea and gossip. I was like,
She's gotta sit
every
down
single
with
time
her.
we're sitting in the gupshikshir, we're having our little cafeteria food. I'm like, all right, cool. So tell me about Mr. Sports
What
Teacher.
happened? Do you like him a lot?
Tell me
Like,
about him. I'm like, yeah. Oh, he wore shorts to the date.
Oh.
Ew.
like that. You don't like that.
It was funny.
It seems like maybe she was trying to get married quick. Like
I think so. I think that was her plan. But that's the problem. Like if you're trying to get married and then you're dating to get married, you don't actually look at the relationship. So the relationship, like the marriage, should be like, oh, it should be an afterthought kind of. If you're dating because you just want to get married,
Yeah.
like are you marrying them because you love them, or are you marrying them because you want to be married?
And it's like you see a potential.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's like, okay, I'm marrying this person because I want to be married. Well, that's the wrong reason to get married. Because that's not going to go well.
Because you tend to. I used to
You'll-
be the
you'll be
type
blind.
of. Yes, I used to be the type of girl who was like, I want to be married by a certain age. And I realized when I used to date for marriage, you ignore red flags.
You ignore red
so
flags,
often.
yeah. Yeah, when you
see a
date
red
when you
flag?
date for marriage, you ignore so many red flags.
Because you're just like, oh, this person is going to be my husband. Oh, I don't like what he just did. But it's okay. I can teach him not to do it.
The difference is the title, but the person is the same.
Literally the same.
Literally.
And now you're just stuck with them longer.
Actually, so many people say like, oh yeah, my boyfriend is like he sometimes has got like some problems, but I'm sure it's fine. No, after they get married, they get worse.
Worse. Because
So much worse.
they see it as, oh, now we're trapped together. Now whatever I do, you're not going to leave me. Because you've signed that paper and you don't
Exactly.
want to divorce now.
Yeah.
Especially being Christian, and like the whole thing about, you
Yeah.
shouldn't get divorced and all these things. I feel like a lot of Christian women get trapped in marriages that they saw red flags when dating, but they thought the marriage would make the person better. And now you're stuck in the marriage because you're like, it's the devil working through my husband. But it's like, but you saw these signs when you were dating him. You just ignored it. But because you thought he was a man of God, now you're stuck with him, but he's still the bag that you dated before.
Oh, see, that's the thing. Like, I've never had a problem with Christianity. I've only ever had an issue with the Christians. Like,
Damn.
sorry.
You know what? I do have to say, a lot of people hide behind Christianity.
That's what I'm
but they're
saying.
just
Like, yeah.
evil people.
Obviously,
Yeah.
not all Christians are bad, and not all
Definitely.
atheists are bad, right?
Yeah.
It's just so. Like, my whole thing is, I don't care what religion you are. Are you a good person?
Yeah.
That's my question. If you're a bad person, I don't care how Christian you are. Especially, the biggest red flag is when someone says, "You can trust me. I'm a Christian."
Whoa! I'm a Christian and I'm scared of that. Why would you say that?
Whenever somebody uses their Christianity to support some kind of statement or argument, run. Run.
That's actually scary. I would never even say that from my mouth.
Oh no,
Like,
so many people do that. So many people say
what
like,
do you
I'm a Christian, you can trust me. Precisely why I don't trust you.
yeah, because like, first of all, why would you lead with that?
Yeah.
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 I'm a Christian. So what? Like, you don't lead with that to
No,
gain
you
somebody's
don't lead with
trust. Like, that's because I've seen some men. I'm saying men because I only date men. I've seen.
I didn't know.
You didn't know, right? Yeah, she out here. Just
Well, I mean,
kidding.
I want to jump on him. So.
No, I thought you were fluid. I don't know. But
Only
because
fluid I have is in this bottle.
that water. I mean that tea, that coffee. Jesus. But I've seen like the worst person that I've ever dated.
Oh, yeah.
Hid behind the Bible.
Oh no.
Like it was always like, he would be like, oh, I'm going to church, the Bible, we would pray before we eat, like all these things. And he was literally the worst person I've ever dated.
Oh wow.
Yeah.
Sorry. That's
I mean,
awful.
no, it's okay, I'm over it now.
Yeah.
But it's very
Still.
over it now. But it's like, I'm gonna take this out of the podcast.
It's fine. What? Wait,
I'm
was
gonna
he
leave
here?
that reaction in there. Yes, he was here. He was just hiding behind the Bible. And it's like, now I've realized, like, even as a Christian woman dating, you can hear somebody go, I'm Christian, man of God, da da da. It doesn't mean anything.
It means nothing. Actions over words.
Yes, absolutely means nothing now.
Yeah.
But I don't know how we got to that tangent.
Anyway.
Back to Matt's dating life.
Oh yeah.
How did you end up meeting your current girlfriend?
So we met on an app, and we chatted for like the longest time because she lives in another country. So from where she is based, and that's all I'm gonna say. So
Okay.
we just spoke for a really really long time. And it was just very casual talking. She was telling me about her job. She was telling me what she's doing and where
Yeah.
she's going, and I'll tell her about my day. And it was very like low pressure, just relaxing, just chatting to a friend. Really,
Yeah.
it was very cool. I kind of like a pen pal in a way.
That's nice, yeah.
And so I wasn't really feeling like anything like too pressured. I just felt like, okay, cool. And then one day she said, oh, I'm going to come back to Korea for a little bit. I said, okay, yeah, let's meet up. And we agreed to meet at a bar where I had been like learning how to bartend because I was very interested in that.
Oh, okay.
My friend was teaching me
Yeah.
at his bar. So I said, let's go there. And my friend would take care of us. And so we met, but she told me the story that actually that day she kind of wanted to cancel, but it was her brother who like pushed her to go.
Oh.
Yeah, her brother's like, nope, just go. Just
Yeah.
go meet him.
Oh, wow. Okay.
So she got there. We were going to meet at a train station at one of the exits. And I'm always like early to most things because I like to get to places early, kind of get my mind in the game and like just kind of chill. I don't like arriving late or arriving on time. It's too like fast paced. And so I thought I was gonna get there before her. She beat me by like 30 seconds or something.
Oh my goodness, yeah.
So I got up and I'm like, it's literally like for me, it still feels like a scene out of a movie
Yeah.
a little bit. The escalator's going up, and then I see her. First thought was, oh no,
She beat me to it.
I'm in trouble.
Yeah. No.
I'm like
Yeah.
first like love at first sight vibes.
Oh,
I was
oh
like-
my god, is that why you were?
That's why I was like, oh, I'm in trouble because
I
like,
thought you were saying because you were late, but because you actually felt.
I saw her and I'm like, oh, this is
Oh.
this is where the pain comes.
Oh my goodness.
I saw and I thought, oh, you have no right to be that beautiful.
Oh my.
Because like she was pretty in her
goodness.
photos, but then she was like I saw in real life and I
Yeah. Even prettier.
thought, damn it.
Oh my god, you were like, ah.
I was like, oh no.
Remember how we were talking
How am I
casually?
gonna stay cool, man? Stay cool,
I
man.
have to be nonchalant.
Yeah, it's like be chill, bro. Be chill. I'm trying.
Oh my goodness, that is so cute.
Yeah, it took a lot of like self restraint.
Not to look too excited. You're like,
Not to be too excited. I was like, Matthew just like play it down. And apparently I did that too well. She thought I was a player.
Oh my goodness.
So she
Come
met me
on.
and she was like, player.
Oh, she was like, I'm probably never gonna see this guy again. Oh no.
Yeah, but like I liked her that much, and I was already working remotely for crypto at the time. So this is kind of where everything really worked out in favor.
Yeah.
Because she said like, you know, she's gonna be in another city in somewhere in China in like the next month. And so this was in May. And so she was gonna be in China in a city called Chengdu in June. And I was gonna be at a conference in Brussels in
Yeah.
July.
Yeah.
And we spoke about maybe meeting up in July because she could be there too, somewhere in Europe. And then I was like, I like this girl so much. I can't wait until July.
Oh my god.
So I saw like what the schedule was for China. I said, I can do that. China's like right next door, right? Wrong. Because it wasn't like Shanghai. It was Chengdu,
Yeah.
which is significantly further. And so for our third date, because we met twice while she was here, for our third date, I flew all the way to China for a couple days to spend time with her.
Listen.
I kind of lied to her.
Yeah.
I told her, oh, I have a conference in Shanghai.
The last.
I did not.
She was the conference you had.
Yeah, exactly. I couldn't let her know that I was into her that much. You know, you gotta be cool.
Man, oh my
Like,
god.
I'm going to Shanghai, but like, I guess I could go to Chengdu.
I'll see you, I guess.
Yeah, like, whatever, maybe. I think the thing is, though, she's really smart. Like, she totally knew.
Oh,
I'm sure. Like,
obviously.
obviously, she knew.
Yeah, for
And like, look at me. I can't keep a secret to save my life. She already knows.
I'm pretty sure she was like, yeah, I think this guy really likes me. And
I think
probably,
so.
I think vice versa too.
So like, I only understood the gravity of the situation when I stepped on the plane, and I'm like, am I actually gonna fly
Fly.
8 hours to see a girl for a third
See
date?
someone, yeah.
It didn't really click until that moment, and I thought, oh, yeah, okay, I really must like her.
Yeah.
So I flew to Chengdu, and like we spent some time together, and then, you know, asked her, you know, should we be a couple? Yeah.
On the third date,
Oh,
or
we'd also been chatting for like since April. No, April.
2 months.
Yeah, so we've been chatting for like almost 2 full months before we met, and then we met, and we also spent a few days in China together.
Yeah.
And then she's like, nah.
oh,
Oh.
why she say no?
I was like, ah. Oh, she's like, oh, I still, you know, need to see if I trust you.
Oh, you know
Fair.
what?
That's
Very fair.
that's totally fair.
Very fair.
And then I think it was in July when we saw each other again. Like, I think she was like, okay, yeah.
Listen, I always say this when somebody tells me a cute little love story.
It's a very cute story.
It's a very cute story. I pray that us single people, you watching and me, that someday we find this type of love. A man
Honestly,
flying
this type
to
of love
another
has like been where we have gone on a date in a different city almost every time. Like for the first few months, like the first 8 months that we dated,
Yeah.
even though it was long distance, every time we met it was in a different city. That was cool.
crazy.
That was very cool.
Also the aspect of it doesn't even matter how far she is or how far you are. You guys are both still gonna try and make it
Yeah.
where you're gonna be together somehow.
I think that was like a really big consideration for us because we really did like each other and still obviously do.
Obvious.
Obviously. But the big factor is like long distance. Can we make that work? Because long distance is hard.
It's a lot of work.
It's a lot of work.
You both have to be extremely committed.
You have to be Wi-Fi partners, essentially. You're just constantly on the phone.
Taking pictures, sending it to each other, telling each other what you're doing, like
Yeah.
all that. Matt made it work though. Matt said, "I'm gonna make it work one way or another."
Well, she's making it work too. You know, it's a you know, it's an effort from both of us.
Exactly.
She's done a lot. You know.
Yeah. Because now you have somebody that you're dating seriously. Is there any advice that you would give people who are dating in Korea now?
Oh yeah. So, you know how everyone says that communication is the most important thing in a relationship, and that is half true.
Yeah.
And because it's half true, it's actually quite dangerous, in my opinion.
Oh.
So obviously, communication, especially if you're a foreigner living in Korea and you're dating another, if you're dating a Korean,
Yeah.
communication is going to be important in language, yes. But across the board, doesn't matter if you're dating somebody from, you know, Kenya or from America or wherever else. Communication of expectations. People's like, oh, communication. What does that mean? Like, oh, like regular texting? No. Like, honestly, for me, it's communication of expectations. If you don't tell me what you expect of me, that is a guarantee that you will be disappointed in me.
Yes.
That's like,
Yes.
you expect me to do this. I don't know it.
Until
And
you
also,
tell me,
again,
yeah.
as a guy, I'm sure you've been frustrated with men before because we're just a little bit too simple. If you don't tell us what you want, which I know it isn't sexy, right? Women want guys who can maybe like
Guess.
kind of guess. The thing is, when your female friends tell you, that guy should have totally picked up on your signal. I totally see where you're coming from,
Yeah.
girl. Yeah, because you're both speaking girl language.
We're both women.
You're speaking woman.
Yeah.
But we're men. We don't speak woman. So it does, like, you know, yeah, there's some guys who can
say
pick
it.
up on your cues.
Yeah.
But also, just another thing, if there's a guy who picks up on your cues really, really well, ask yourself, how does he know?
How do you know girls so
How do you
well?
know girls so well? Just like, yeah, just could you tell me a little bit more about your dating history, honestly?
Yeah. What roster you got?
Yeah, let me see your body count there. Yeah.
Yo!
I'm just saying, if you meet a guy who from the beginning knows your language,
Yeah.
maybe be a bit suspicious.
Might be a little,
Just a little bit.
red flag.
Spoken as a guy.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Might be a little red flag.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Just a little one. I mean, it might not be. Maybe he's got sisters.
Yeah. Or a mom who's really been there, but sometimes it's.
Generally, just, you know, check it.
Yeah.
So communication of expectations is going to be seriously important. And
Very.
yeah, look, it's not the most attractive conversation to have, but having arguments or being disappointed in someone is probably worse.
Very much worse.
Yeah.
Yeah. I've been in a relationship where after a while I realized we were both not on the same wavelength in terms of what we are expecting
And I think, yeah, it's good to have that conversation early.
very early.
Yeah.
Yeah, my dumb ass brought it up 6 months later.
Hey, look, I mean, that's better than like 2-3 years later.
That's crazy. 2-3 years is
Well,
crazy.
you know, so a lot of people are not as, you know, emotionally in tune.
EQ, yeah, like
Yeah, the EQ
might be a
is-
little low.
I know a lot of people with great IQ, but their EQ is insufferable.
Super high IQ. EQ in the freaking garbage.
Oh, yeah, no, you
just
don't want that.
I was like, what is going on?
Because then you got to have the EQ for both of you.
And then it's exhausting for me because it's like I'm carrying the
And
relationship.
because you got so much EQ, you're going to be accused of being too sensitive.
Oh my!
Did he?
Yes!
Aha! I
You
knew
have,
it!
You have no idea how many times I've heard, we always talk about your feelings. And I'm like, because you don't even talk about yours.
I was about to say, you never talk about yours, right?
Like, how am I supposed to know what you're thinking when you're not talking to me about it?
I mean, I'm very happy that I'm right, but I'm also very sad that I'm right. I'm sorry.
God, it's a lot, Matt. It's dating out here is difficult.
All right, it's hard in the trenches.
Listen, that's why I'm happy you're out of the trenches.
I'm out of the trenches.
Listen, every time a guest comes here and they're out of the trenches, I'm like, I'm so happy for you. Stay out of the trenches.
I'm saying, oh, yeah.
Yeah, Matt is just no. Matt is never gonna touch them trenches again.
No.
Yeah.
I'm taking care of the parents as well as much as I can.
As you should.
As I should.
And vice versa. I hope she's doing it for you too.
Oh, no. Like I honestly don't know how I can repay her. She's like I'm going through a big transition period right now.
Yeah.
Moving from 8 years of Korea into Greece.
Mm-hmm.
And she has been instrumental. And like her family has also helped out so much. And
Mm-hmm.
they've given so much moral support as well. Even more than my own family to a certain extent. And so like it's just how do I even repay that? How do I even make that up, you know?
How did being a foreigner impact your daily life or sense of identity in Korea?
Oh, in the beginning it was pretty hard because I was trying very hard to be as Korean as possible, and that definitely impacted my identity quite a lot because I was trying so hard to be Korean, so I wasn't really letting myself be a foreigner.
Yeah.
And then the Koreans were like, no, but you're a foreigner, and then the foreigners were like, okay, but you're trying so hard to be Korean,
Then you're not fitting in.
then
with
you're
the
not even fitting in,
foreigners,
and it's just like then you're stuck and you're alone. And so after a while, I thought, okay, cool. I tried a little bit less, but I still had that desire to try. I was like, maybe I'm not doing it right, or
Yeah.
I need to try a different way, or maybe when I get the certain visa, or if I get the passport, or if I marry a Korean, or something like that, then I'll, become Korean. And then after a few years, I realized, probably not. And also, do
Yeah.
I really want to be a Korean anymore? No,
You don't. Yeah.
I don't. And it's nothing against Koreans.
No,
This
it's
is-
just you have your own culture.
I got my own culture. I'm very proud of my culture.
Yeah.
I'm proud to have grown up in South Africa and be a South African. I'm also proud to be Swiss. And also, I've seen like Korea has got its own problems. Like every country has
Yeah,
got problems.
we all got problems.
And I was looking at like the things that Koreans have to go through in like society, and I thought to myself, yeah, I wouldn't want that for myself. So like
Yeah.
best of luck to Koreans. Like you guys have some some things you got to go through.
Yeah.
And like, you know, it's hard out here to be Korean. So like, yeah, I mean, really good luck.
Hard. I like hear my Korean friends talk about like what they have to go through in Korea as Koreans, and I'm
hard.
like, I'm so happy I'm a foreigner in Korea.
Yeah, I'm really happy to. It's like we are. Look, we do have our own challenges,
Of course.
but also in a way, at this like it's as at the same time that we are at a disadvantage, we're also blessed.
Yeah,
in some
certain
ways.
Yeah, in certain ways, because there's always this talk of, you know, it might be hard for us to leave, but we still have an option.
Yeah, we can go.
Yeah, while as Koreans who are Korean, where are they gonna go?
Exactly.
Like they can travel, but like, you know, getting a visa, living in another country is not easy. It's not even easy for us to be in Korea. So you can only imagine leaving your country is not gonna be easy.
No.
So I'm like, yay for me being a foreigner, because my friends stay complaining. Stay complaining about Korea.
Yeah.
But yeah, I do love Korea too, but it's hard out here. What are some habits, or do you feel like you finished the answer?
Yeah.
Okay. What are some habits or customs you've picked up in Korea that you'll be taking back with you?
I don't know. I mean, I guess study habits. I really learned how to study well when I was here because I wanted to get like a better visa. I wanted to improve my livelihood. So I learned Korean a lot and I studied like a monster. And that study habit I'm taking with me when I go back to school, which is very useful because what I'm about to study is pretty hard.
Yeah.
So I'm going to take the study habits back with me, definitely. I learned also a lot of cooking skills. I refined and developed that while I was here. I could do it before, but
Not as good.
and I wasn't as good as I am now. So yeah, a lot of those things I'm going to take back. Habits, though, I've mostly kept my old ones because they were relatively healthy. So even before I moved to Korea, I would wake up at the crack of dawn, do exercise,
Oh wow.
that kind of thing.
Okay.
So
Yeah. What about when it comes to like the respect culture Koreans have? Do you think that's something you've adapted to, or?
yes. So I've got like a little phrase or like a mantra that I have in my head, which is respect is given, trust is earned.
Okay.
So whoever I meet, I will give them my respect unless they do something to make me lose respect.
Yeah.
But I won't give them my trust until they have earned that trust.
Earn the trust, yeah.
Yeah. So respect, I'll give it to you no matter what. Just by default, you get my respect. But my trust, you have to earn that.
It's trust is very much earned though.
Yeah,
You
that's-
can't just be giving it out like
That's some
candy.
serious, interpersonal capital. Yeah.
Because when it's broken,
Ooh.
that trust is gone.
Yeah, it's gone.
It's gone. If you could give your past self one piece of advice before coming to Korea, what would it be?
Nothing actually.
Oh.
I think I'm really happy with the way it turned out.
Okay.
So before I came to Korea, I already knew 3 years before coming that I wanted to come. So I spent every single day for 3 years just prepping, researching, doing everything I could. And when I came to Korea, I had 1.5 years of honeymoon period. It doesn't get any better than that. Like, so honestly, I wouldn't give myself any advice.
Because that is a long time to have.
It's a
honeymoon
long
period.
time for a honeymoon
Yeah.
period. I had a great time. I adapted well, got a really good visa, made amazing friends. No notes. No notes.
He's like, we
Yeah.
don't live in regret.
No regrets
It
there.
happened. Now I'm here. So
Yeah, I actually have, like when I look back on my life in Korea, there's no real regrets there.
yeah. You feel like you've lived it to the full.
Oh, I lived it. I mean, I've been an English teacher. I've worked as a news anchor. I've worked in radio and TV. I've worked in crypto, and yeah, I mean, I've hosted parties. I even did a fashion show once.
You've been all over.
I've done everything that there is to do here.
Korea has given you experiences.
Yeah, and now I'm like, okay, chapter's closed.
Yeah, now you're like, I want another experience somewhere else. And now it's
Exactly.
time for you to go.
Now I'm gonna have to give up 1-day delivery from Coupang.
Oh my goodness, let's talk about that. What will you I just stuttered.
It's fine.
What will you miss? Sounded like a remix. Remix. Right. And what I can't even say it now. What will you miss most about Korea?
Oh, so many things. All right, let's start with food.
Oh my goodness.
Girl, food, 닭갈비. I'm just gonna list it off, okay? We're gonna go straight. Okay, everyone, foreigner approved, 외국인 approved, 닭갈비, and if you're not lactose intolerant, cheese.
Oh, with cheese on top.
With the cheese, all right, and then of course Korean dessert, you gotta have the rice, because if you don't have the rice, you are a savage.
Yeah, because why? Would
Yeah, look, I know you want to cut the carbs, but not tonight.
No.
Not tonight.
You have to fry that
All right.
rice. Like,
메밀전병.
oh.
Have you ever had that?
I've not, but it sounds really good.
I like how you reacted so appropriately. Oh yeah,
The actress
I
in me-
totally know exactly what
I
you're
have no
talking
idea what
about.
you're talking about.
No, so it's like memil is like the buckwheat, right?
Yeah.
So you basically make a pancake, a john,
Oh.
and then you turn it into like a crepe. in a way.
Okay.
And then you fill it with like kimchi and meat.
I have not. Oh, that sounds so good.
It is good.
Kimchi and
Basically,
meat.
imagine like a really long mandu, right? And then it's made from meme, and then there's kimchi meat inside.
That sounds so good. We were talking about the list of foods.
Yes. And
So-
we got to meme jombyong.
Yes, that's the second one.
That's meme jombyong. So takabi, meme jombyong. And that's where it gets tricky. Takbai, chicken feet.
You like chicken feet?
I like chicken feet, but without the bones.
Ah.
If you got the bones inside,
yeah,
have you ever eaten with the bones? It is so like.
I like the cartilage only.
The cartilage, yeah. So the
Without the bone. Yeah, yeah.
No bones.
Yeah.
Takbai gugmul, especially when they got like in a nice stew.
Oh, I have never had it with stew before.
Yeah, so takbai gugmul, you just add gugmul like that. It's really
Oh, I've only had the.
just straight up fried, yeah.
Yeah, with just sauce on it.
Just sauce, yeah. But it's like just
Damn, I
imagine
need to have that.
it's like a soup sauce.
Takbar is chicken feet, by the way.
Yeah, chicken feet.
Chicken feet.
It's a
You'll be
chicken
looking
feet.
like this.
Jeuk bokum, which is like the pulled
I've had
spicy
that.
pork.
Yeah.
Very good. And I think, yeah, I mean,
You're gonna
samgyeopsal.
miss these. Samgyeopsal you can definitely find overseas.
Yeah, sometimes I can find. I could probably make it
Easy.
myself, but
Yeah.
like it's just like sitting at a Korean restaurant
And having
and
it.
having it, and then taking the Febreze and like
and it not being overpriced because overseas it's so overpriced.
Muhan refill.
Oh, well, that's true.
Yeah. The unlimited refill. Always a
That
good
one,
option.
Yeah, when you go overseas, though, the price.
The price, the quality.
Yeah, even the quality of the meat is not the same.
not the
the
same.
kimchi is not the same.
Oh,
The
the
side dish
kimchi.
is not the
when
same.
you stick that kimchi on the grill,
Oh, and the garlic on top of
on the
that.
garlic. Oh yeah, girl, maybe I should reconsider.
I feel like you might want to stay just for the food.
No.
Just for the food. But apart from food, you had mentioned kupang.
Oh yeah, right.
Oh,
so
my
like,
goodness.
I remember once, and it's a great way to illustrate the point.
Yeah.
I'm gonna miss the convenience of Korea. I was at the gym. It was 7 a.m. I was lifting weights because that's how I do. And I dropped my dumbbell,
Yeah.
and it didn't like fall on my phone.
Yeah.
But the edge of it hit my phone screen, and I have a glass screen protector always because I'm clumsy.
Yeah.
And this glass screen protector completely shattered. And so I ordered a new one. It arrived by 6 p.m. that day. It was like,
Yeah.
that's 11 hours.
You're not going to get that when you
I'm not going to
leave,
get that.
no?
Especially not in Greece. No.
Because even like people think about Amazon, it's still not. Amazon is not as fast as Coupang.
No, it's not.
Coupang is fast.
It's fast.
Yeah.
And it's also got like, when you have a coupon membership, you also got like the player. You got the TV membership.
Oh yeah, you do have a TV membership
And
too. There's Coupang.
I'm a
Eats.
big F1 fan.
Oh.
I love Formula One.
Yeah.
And they actually broadcast it on Coupang.
Coupang has Formula One.
And they
That's so interesting.
they broadcast it in Korean, which has been great. So I'm watching them talk about Ferrari in like, imagine like Usain Bolt speed
Yeah.
Korean.
You're just like.
They're talking as fast as the cars are moving in Korean, but I can kind of understand what they're talking about.
Yeah.
The things I can understand are the names of the drivers. That's it.
Yeah. Okay. That's it.
I know that name.
That's so funny. I guess you're like you can practice your Korean.
I can
in
practice a
some
little
way.
bit,
but
I mean,
it's so freaking
I
fast.
do miss the English commentary, which is just it's another class of its own.
Yeah.
But yeah, I'm gonna miss being able to like just tune in into that.
Yeah, that convenience is gonna be gone.
All the convenience is gonna be gone.
Yeah.
Being able to go to the convenience store at 3 a.m.
That's another one because it's 24/7, 365.
I'm gonna be
days.
living in a small town in Greece called
Oh.
Megara, which is
Mm-hmm.
just outside of
Megara.
Athens. Population, I don't even know.
Yikes.
Which is
You're gonna
fine. Like,
need to
I'm
stock
actually
your fridge.
very, very excited to go, but I know that the one thing that's gonna make me very not angry, but like
Uncomfortable.
uncomfortable is gonna be there. Everything being closed on Sunday.
They close everything on Sunday.
That's Europe.
They close everything on Sunday?
God, have you ever been to Germany?
No.
Sundays are holy. They're not even that
Wait.
religious, but Sundays are holy.
So you just no grocery shopping on Sunday?
Nothing.
No.
Nothing gets done,
So it's like family time.
as far as I know.
Oh
I mean, have you ever been anywhere in the Middle East on a Friday?
no.
No. Same thing.
They're like Fridays.
Friday's their
nobody's
Sunday.
outside. Wow, that's gonna
in
be
Muslim countries usually.
because right now Sundays, a lot of the first Sunday of every month, Emar, Home Plus, they're all closed, and
Oh, they
I
still
feel the
do that?
inconvenience. Yes, they still do that. I went to Home Plus this Sunday and it
thought
was
they
freaking
stopped.
closed. But that I feel the inconvenience is in that. So I can only imagine like restaurants, convenience store, like everything being shut down on a Sunday has to be like.
Yeah, no, if you didn't go grocery shopping on Saturday, you're done.
Yeah, you have to starve on a Sunday. Go eat some grass or something.
Probably go to a restaurant. But, you know, I'm going to be a
Grocery
student, so...
Cook. You gotta cook.
No, I'm cooking every day.
And you can cook though, so you'll definitely survive.
Oh, yeah, I've already budgeted my food for 20 months.
Damn, whoa, you are ready.
So, and I know that my food is going to consist out of sweet potatoes, boiled eggs, chicken breast, and protein shakes.
A diet food. But you're
Rabbit food, basically, yeah. You know, if rabbits ate chicken breasts.
They definitely don't, right?
No, they don't.
Oh, okay, because I was like, I don't think they eat meat at all. I was like, what?
Imagine how big they would be if they did.
They would be the kangaroos is what they would be. They'll be terrifying looking. Because kangaroos terrifying.
Kangaroos are ripped.
I don't even think I ever want to see a kangaroo.
I want to see a kangaroo.
Oh, I want to be
I would
in
love
a
to go to
safari
Australia.
van or
I want to go to Australia because I love to put myself in danger.
um,
Australia is so dangerous.
even the spiders.
I lived in South Africa. I'm like, Australia is dangerous. Don't go
Listen,
there.
the type of animals they have in that country, I'm
Everything
like,
is designed to kill you.
yes. Like
I love it.
koalas
I
are
think
maybe
it's
the only
great.
thing I would want to see. A koala, so cute. Da, da, da.
Koalas?
Anything else? I'm
That's
like,
true.
Anything else? I'm like, y'all can keep it in that country. We don't need it out here. Like the huge spiders they have, the snake.
You gotta check in your shoes every day.
Even I've heard a story of somebody who was going to the bathroom and there was like a spider crawling up or something.
Yeah, they got hunter spiders, I think.
They're just huge for no reason. Well, they do. There's a reason they're that big, but like it's like why?
Life. Anyway,
Not Australia. Do you see yourself returning to Korea someday, either to visit or live again?
visit, I don't think live again. If
You
I
answered
did,
that quick.
yeah, no, because so we had this conversation last time about education and
we did.
having kids.
We did.
And like me
People
and
were
my partner,
mad.
yeah,
People were mad.
people were a little bit mad
no reason.
at my controversial statement.
Controversial.
It wasn't even that controversial.
Because you didn't make it about everybody. It was just you personally.
Yeah, it's
so I
my
was like,
personal experience.
I was like, why are people so mad about somebody's opinion?
Don't forget, I worked at a science high school where the
Ooh,
kids
that's
are
a
expected to perform at the top of the top of the top.
Mm-hmm.
I had kids coming to me crying because they were under so much pressure, and they didn't go to the other teachers because the other teachers were like, you know, connected to the education ministry, whereas I was like outside of the system, so the kids could come to me and there would be
Okay.
like less consequences in a way, and less impact on their grades because they were scared of that.
Yeah.
So the kids sometimes would come to me and cry, which was kind of uncomfortable for me. I am not trained to deal with
that, yeah.
that. I mean, obviously I could be there for them, but at the same time, like I still would tell my colleagues.
Yeah.
And I would tell the colleagues that I know are nice and like good.
We're not
and
gonna tell on the
they're
kids.
not gonna like make it bad for the students and actually offer real support.
Yeah.
So I would tell the colleagues like, hey, listen, this student came up to me today. They're having this issue. Could you just keep it between us and maybe just talk to them directly and just see if you can do something about it.
Yeah.
Right. So that's what I saw daily. So yeah, I stand by what I said.
Matt will never have his kids live in Korea.
So like again, if we've got future kids, if I have future kids, it might be Korean, like you know, half Korean, half whatever it is I am. And definitely they're gonna have family here, so I would definitely want them to come, maybe even stay like for a short term a little bit, like
Yeah.
1 or 2 years we could stay, I guess, things like that. But like to have their childhood here, no. So no.
Yeah.
I would prefer that we live somewhere else, either Europe. Even if we lived in like the Middle East, that would be fine. Just you know, I don't want them to live here
have the stress.
and get you know all the negative blowback from going to the Korean schools. Yes, Korean education is impressive. It is amazing. I've seen how strong it is. But the problem is, kids should not be studying that hard.
A child shouldn't know what stress is that.
Yeah, no. I've seen kids with gray hair, and that concerns me. That concerns me. So no, I'm not doing that.
That is insane.
Yeah.
Okay, so definitely not to live.
No, not to live. I
Definitely
don't
not to live. But visit.
Definitely visit. Even like for a full summer holiday stay, like you know, even a half a year, or an exchange program for 2 years. That's also fine. Or come like if the kids we have like want to go here to university, sure.
Yeah.
Like that's fine too. But like those very important beginning years, I just don't think it's a good idea. Having the baby here is also a good idea. Like there's a lot of good facilities here.
The facilities here for kids,
Yeah,
for having
absolutely.
children,
Having children
amazing.
are fantastic.
Yeah.
So yeah, definitely. But I just don't think that
You wouldn't want
almost every single, I've spoken to a lot of foreigners who are married to Koreans who have kids, and I've asked them, like, so how do you feel about your kids growing up in Korea? And not a single person has told me that they're happy about it. Some people have been like neutral, but not a single person has said, oh, I'm ecstatic that we're raising our kids here.
I haven't heard that either.
Yeah. So
Yeah.
you got so many places that are also like no kids cafes and things like that. We have we have a real big birth problem. Yeah. I
You
wonder
can't have
why.
your kids here. You can't have your kids in certain restaurants.
Yeah.
They don't want children. And it's like, well, you just have to have your child at home or in a mall somewhere, and that's it. Did you get it? Ah! Oh, you got it.
Yes.
There was a fat one, for real, for real.
Yeah.
No,
Nothing?
the twin is flying around still, though.
Oh, okay.
It's a twin. But yeah, it's very interesting about like the no kids zones, but they still want you to have more kids, and it's like, but why are there no kid zones? But then you get it because some people who don't have kids don't want to keep seeing kids in certain spaces, you know?
I mean, that's the problem now. What do you do? How do you accommodate everyone? And should you accommodate everyone?
Yeah.
I mean, my opinion is part of the human experience is being uncomfortable.
Facts.
Like,
Yeah.
life is not always going to be nice. And I think that's like maybe one kind of thing I do have to comment about Korea is that people will talk, like if something uncomfortable is happening, they're going to, say something about it. Fine, that's fair. But people make a really big deal out of it. Like, let's just say there's kids in a cafe and they're being noisy. Yeah, sure, it's uncomfortable. I get that. But you're also probably the same people who are complaining about the birth rate being down. Those people who are like, oh, these kids are so noisy, are the same people who say, there's not enough babies here.
So it's
Do
like,
you hear yourself?
which one do we want?
Like, if you want more babies in the country, you're going to have to deal with being uncomfortable a lot more often. There's going to be more crying babies. I'm sorry to tell you.
That's very
Like,
true.
what do you want?
You can't have
Choose.
both.
Yeah, you can't have both.
Gotta
Sorry.
have one. Either the birth rate gets better or the
Yeah.
kids get quiet. Nobody has kids.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, that's a lot. What message would you like to leave for anyone considering moving to Korea?
Right. The message I would leave. Do your research before you come here. See if you can join. I mean, I know it's kind of like a dead platform, but go on Facebook, join the foreigner groups here.
Yeah.
Reddit as well has got a lot of good groups. Get as much information as you can, and also, I'm not going to say you have to have a plan for Korea in terms of like long term. Obviously, have a plan for what job you're going to have here, where you're going to live, the immediate 1 to 2 year plan. But the 5 to 10 year plan, if there is one, you don't need that. See where it goes, because I came here to be a teacher, and then I didn't really have a plan for after that. And it's led me to quite possibly the best and most interesting life I've ever had. So
Yeah,
Yeah.
you've done a lot.
I've
for
done
sure.
a lot, and I
Yeah.
didn't expect any of it. So plan for the beginning, and then just see where it takes you.
When you think of Korea, what's like the best memory you think you've had so far?
Oh, that is. Why are you asking
Or
the
the,
tough?
the top three.
You're asking the tough questions today.
We want to know what's the best
Oh,
memory.
okay. Yeah, I can definitely say the moment I got my F27 visa.
Oh, okay.
Oh, that was a day. That was a day. It was a summer day as well,
Yeah.
which is my favorite season.
Yeah.
And I didn't even get the notification. Somebody told me a clever trick to find out. So they've got this portal where you can find out a lot of your immigration status information. And so I had applied, but they said it was going to take about 2 weeks for me to find out the result. I couldn't handle that. My one friend said, listen, here's what you do. If you want to find out if you got it or not, if you get the visa, you're going to have a really long visa date, right?
Yeah.
The expiration date is going to not just be 1 year from now. It's
Yeah.
going to be like 2-3 years from now.
Yeah.
Right? So he said, here's what you do. Go to your profile, check your immigration status by plugging in your passport number, and it will tell you when your visa expires. You can use that to extrapolate
If you got it or not.
if you got it or not. I did it, and I found out, hey, my visa expires in like 3 years or something. I was like, sweet.
That
I got
means
the
you
visa.
got it.
I got the visa.
Oh my goodness.
And then I got the text message like 2 days later. I'm like, oh, I had no idea.
Thank you for telling me.
This is such a surprise. But it was a good day.
Yeah. Oh,
I had like a happy tear there. I was like, oh man, because
That
it
is like-
takes a lot of work to get that visa.
it's a lot of it's a point system, right? For that
It's a
visa
point
too.
system, yeah.
Yeah, so I can imagine you sitting there counting the points, being like, "Oh, will I get it? Will I not?" Because they're so immigration is always,
It's a little bit finicky.
it is like you just never know what you're gonna get
Yeah.
because it just depends on how they feel about you or
Yeah.
feel that day sometimes.
Yeah.
So thank God you got it. Even though now you're like, "Thank you, bye."
Yeah, cheers. Actually, it's really funny. I renewed my visa not even a year ago. And I got
mean-
like 3 years on it.
Oh snap!
Yeah, so like I got this long visa, and now I'm like, oh, I just made so much effort to get this really good visa and
Yeah.
like renew it. It feels like a bit of a waste now.
I guess now you can still come into Korea with a visitor's visa if you didn't have that visa, right?
Yeah, I mean, like, look, I got a Swiss passport, so like that really helps a lot. So I can come here for like 90 days visa free.
Okay.
I
But
can
now
come
you can,
visit.
can come for years now.
Yeah.
So there was really no point in you getting a visa.
Well, no, I mean, I got that visa many years ago. It was.
Oh,
like,
no, I mean like renewing it. Sorry.
Yeah, but I had no idea at that time. That was September. No, that was like July,
Last
August when I
Before
when-
you made the decision that you're going to move, right?
Yeah, like way before.
Okay, so it makes sense why you still got it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, at the time it was a fresh relationship. I had no idea what was happening.
And now, here we are, Matt.
Here we are.
Here we are. Is there anything that you didn't get to say that you would like to share?
I really don't think so. I mean, it's 8 years. 8 years in Korea.
Yeah.
The best years of my life. Also the hardest years of my life. And, I thought that I was going to be a lot more in trepidation about this. Be like, should I do this? Is this the right thing to do? And
Yeah.
not. I mean, I am sad. I'm very sad.
Yeah.
I'm going to say goodbye to quite possibly the best people that I know. But also, I can feel, I've been telling people this a lot.
Yeah.
I can feel it in my bones. Like, it's just, my body's telling me, it's time.
I'm at year 7 now, and it's when I've started feeling the same feeling where
Yeah.
I'm like,
You just don't know where is
yeah,
next, right?
like
And
I
what is
don't
next.
I don't see my future yet, but I just know it's not here. It's like that feeling.
I will say that, so essentially like a little bit of backstory to how I got to where I'm going now. I was working in crypto, and then I think it was like January, February, I found out that like I was no longer needed at my job in crypto. So I'd worked at like 3 different crypto companies.
Yeah.
And when I got to this third one, which I really liked, it was very dynamic and fun and interesting, and I loved the team. We got to like January, and they were like, Matthew, we're not really feeling like you're able to give us what we need,
Oh, okay.
or like it's just not a good match. Like you have these skills, which are really great, but the problem is our company needs more technical stuff here. So like you do all like the media, like marketing, and like the event management and stuff, but we don't really need that. We need more technical stuff. So there was a bit of a mismatch there. And so we left on good terms. They were actually like helping me try to apply for other jobs. And then, like I said, some friendly acquaintances, I interviewed with them. I even flew, like I bought a $500 ticket just to go from Doha to Dubai and back again, just to be able to meet with one guy for like an interview, an impromptu interview. And he was very friendly with me at another conference, and then, just nothing. Yeah, and it's just like, it was that kind of stuff that was very jarring. And so I made the decision to try and pursue this pilot thing. So while I was looking for jobs, I was also looking at flight schools and the different ways I could get into the flight deck and how I could really like achieve that dream.
Yeah.
But if also being realistic, if it doesn't work out, at least I can work in crypto because, life happens.
Yeah.
And so I was doing all of this research on flight schools, and every single time I overcame some kind of obstacle, because logistically speaking, going to flight school, I honestly think that going to flight school is going to be easier than everything I have done up until now just to get to flight school. That's how hard it has been, at least for me. My personal journey to get to the flight school itself
Yeah,
has
it's
been
been a lot.
absolute hell. It has been so hard.
Yeah.
But I spent from February up until now in pure ambiguity, not knowing what's going on. It was the loneliest time I've ever had in my life. It was the most difficult time
Yeah.
because I wasn't getting any jobs. I wasn't even getting screened past the first interview. I was just getting flat out
has to be
rejections.
a lot,
I was
yeah.
like, I think I applied to like 80 something companies.
Wow.
Yeah.
Okay.
And the flight schools, also logistically speaking, difficult to like get into or to find a way to get there to like fund the training and stuff. And every single time I overcame a barrier, another barrier came up.
Another one
And it
shows
was
up.
just, it was eating away at me. And so I guess like now I feel a lot more settled because everything's just kind of coming together finally. But that was, I can't lie, that was brutal. It's got to be the most brutal thing I've ever done.
Yeah. And you're here now.
Yeah, I'm here now, finally.
But it seems like you had to overcome a lot of obstacles. for
Honestly,
sure.
probably the one of the most difficult times in my life has been the last 4 months.
Wow.
Easily.
Wow. You were talking about it so happily that I wouldn't even guess.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. Like you know how people like see the success story and they don't really know the story behind it.
yeah.
Yeah. That it was my partner will tell you.
Yeah.
She saw me at really dark moments.
Oh, okay.
Because it wasn't just like, okay, I'm not sure if I can get into pilot school, which like, yeah, would have been sad, but it was just, I'm not finding a way to pilot school. And also, I'm not finding any jobs. So
That's hard.
And it makes you question, I have been in the workforce for more than 8 years now. Have I no value?
Whew, yeah.
And like that's a question you ask yourself. And then also in a relationship with somebody you want to get married to, right? And then that's even as a man especially, that's even more pressure because you know we're supposed to be people who provide. And I think she's a little bit less traditional. She's like very, we're partners together and we do things together. But still, as a man, you're always going to feel that pressure to be a provider in some way.
Yeah. Because just traditionally speaking,
Yeah.
also societally speaking. Yeah.
So for me, I because I wasn't earning money for 4 months, I wasn't able to fly out to see her.
Wow. Okay.
Because I didn't have a job, I didn't feel like I had any real value to contribute. And I wasn't finding my way to school, so like I wasn't able to do that either. So where was I? It got to the point where I needed to go back to teaching English part-time just to be able to feed myself. And as much as I loved that job when I started it, it's against my nature. When I teach, I don't like it. It's not that I respect the English teachers. They do something that I find very difficult to do personally. Yeah. It takes a special kind of person to be a teacher. That's not me.
I've literally said that, and that is also not me. I am
Yeah.
not that type of special person.
Yeah.
Yeah, but you're here now.
I'm here now.
Matt
And
is
then I'm
here
gone
now.
the next.
True. Then he's gonna be gone soon. But
Like now.
on to your next journey. You know,
exactly.
Which is so exciting. I feel like opening and it's like scary and exciting, but I'm excited for you.
Yeah,
just like-
me too.
Not just only like the piloting, just everything in general. It's just so exciting.
Yeah. A lot had to be
Listen.
done.
Yeah,
to
I'm
get there.
gonna be there on your social media looking.
Oh yeah.
Like, so what
Please
happened?
do.
What happened?
What happened next?
What happened next? How's Matt doing? But is there anything else that you wanted to say? before
No,
we close
not
this
really.
episode?
I mean, I guess the reason why I kind of spoke about that was just because I guess in a way, if you are someone who's gonna maybe come to Korea and maybe go through something similar, you are gonna have dark moments in Korea. You absolutely are.
Yeah.
There's gonna be lonely moments. There's gonna be moments where you're homesick. But you know what? The foreigner community here. I mean, if you are a good person, you'll be fine.
Yeah.
If you're a bad person, stay away from us, please.
No, please.
Yeah, we
Don't make us more
we
tired.
have enough bad things to deal with.
We have enough problems, and we just don't need y'all to give us more problems.
Yeah, exactly.
But no, for sure. I feel like a lot of people do see creators or even influencers in Korea, like all happy about Korea and stuff. But we're all fighting silent battles. Like,
The influences in Korea, I do have to is that your main income?
no, modeling is my main.
Modeling.
Yeah, yeah.
Girl, I have so much respect for you. You know how hard it is? I mean, obviously you know how hard it is. Yeah.
That's what I'm telling you. Like, I don't see a future in Korea. When
No,
it
I
comes to
get
this,
it. Like,
yeah.
I guess maybe we can talk about that. If you want to model in Korea, what do you think? Do it? Don't do it?
Don't
Do it. Yeah, I would say
Don't
that
do
too. Not because I'm a model, but because my friends are models and I hear the stories. No.
Difficult. It's very difficult.
Maybe 10 years ago? Yeah?
I would say 6 years ago. It was extremely, like, I made the most
wow.
money I've made in my life 6 years ago.
Okay, so
Like,
I
I was
thought
doing
that
really
even
good.
earlier than that would have been better.
Oh, well, obviously, earlier than that. Like, I mean, 6 downwards.
So 6 years downwards, yeah.
After 6 years, it's just like the market has changed.
It's saturated.
It's extremely saturated.
So if you're coming here to model, you are actually part of the problem. Yeah.
Thank you. Facts.
If you come here to
are
model,
part of
you
the problem.
are the problem, and you are going to aid and abet your very own destruction because you will not be able to make money because you are in a circuit or like an area where there's too many of you.
Yes, and the problem is, being a professional model is not even a thing anymore.
No, it's not.
Anybody can be a model now.
And also people can, you know how much AI stuff I'm seeing now for modeling? So much AI stuff. I mean, it's gross actually.
It's disgusting.
It's so gross. I see the AI modeling, I'm like, oh, but why did you do that though? Now,
It's like, why
now,
can't we have a human do
now
it?
your brand is cheap.
Because it's like, why couldn't you just pay for a model to do this?
Yeah, besides,
And
even the
then-
models, they don't even charge that much anymore.
Oh my goodness,
One model's like, okay,
literally.
I'll do 100,000 one for like an hour. Other model's like 90. They all, it took a down.
Then there's 50.
Yeah.
And then you know what's like the worst? This is becoming a rant at this point.
Okay, that's fine. Let's
a
do
few
it.
years ago, it used to be 200K per hour.
What? That's
Yeah.
nice.
They used to be very nice. And then it dropped down to 150K per hour.
Okay, manageable.
Which is very manageable. But now it's like you see clients reaching out to me talking about 50K per hour, 90K per hour. But I'm like, I've been modeling for almost 10 years. Like, what makes you think I'm going to drop my price to 50K? But if I don't accept, another person, I'm not accepting. I don't
It's
care.
a race to
I'm
the
not
bottom.
accepting. Yes.
It's a race to the bottom right
And
now.
I refuse to go to the bottom. So I definitely don't agree to like taking those type of jobs. But it's like I see somebody who takes the job, and then the client isn't happy with the result. Then they come back running to me, and I'm like,
Now you've wasted money.
now you wasted money, and on top of that, I'm gonna ask you for a higher price now because now you know I'm an asset, and I'm gonna do this shoot really
Does
well.
it work? Do you ask for a higher price then?
I've asked for a higher price 2 times, and it's worked, yeah, because they know the way I can do this job, and I shoot. Listen, I'm really good at my job. I can shoot very fast.
Well, how long have you been
right?
doing it now?
Almost 10 years.
Wow.
Yeah, it's been a long time.
Yeah,
but
you
now,
got the double digits right there.
exactly, I'm just like, listen, shooting for me, like being a model for me came very naturally.
Yeah.
But now I'm just seeing that the market is so saturated and everybody just thinks they're a great model. And I'm just like, modeling looks
Yeah.
easy, but it's not.
No, it's not.
Some people have it, some people don't. But
Oh
it's
no, I
like,
tried it.
it's
I mean, again, I got
easy.
nothing to lose here. I tried it and I was
Yeah.
awful.
It's, but you did anchoring, and some people can never do anchoring.
So
Some
that's
people
why
can't
I
do
kind of went to
curb show.
anchoring because I was like, I can't do modeling. Screw this. I'm gonna be taken
Anchoring.
seriously. I'm gonna be an anchor. And then like you become an anchor, and then you realize, at least you become an anchor in Korea, and you realize like no one takes you seriously. The only thing they take seriously is making sure that the information you're talking about on the news channel is in fact correct, because
Yeah.
you don't want to get sued into oblivion.
Facts.
That's the only thing that's taken seriously. You as an anchor are not taken seriously.
They're just like, oh, you're an anchor. Cool. It's like,
Oh no! Outside of news, when you say you're an anchor, the prestige is there. Oh, absolutely.
Really?
When I would say I'm a news anchor, people would be like, "Wow." Anyway, but inside like news, no one cares.
they're just like, oh, you're an anchor.
You're an anchor. You're just a pretty face.
Damn.
I mean,
Pretty
obviously
face
not
is
always. Like there are some anchors who like do some serious investigative journalism. Absolutely, but the majority of the time,
Yeah, because some people would just think you guys are just reading a teleprompter.
the
and
real
that's it.
heroes of journalism are investigative journalists.
I want. Oh my! This off the record. Is that all that you wanted to say about?
I mean, that's all that I have so far.
Great. Thank you, Matt, again for coming up for your second time.
Thanks
for
for having
sharing
me.
your story. I'm excited for your future.
Me too.
That's all I have to say. I am excited. I am super happy that you reached out.
Yeah, I mean,
Thank you for reaching
as soon as I knew I was gonna leave, I was like, oh, I gotta go on that podcast with that girl. we gotta talk, spill the tea.
And like the tea was there, like there was no holding back. I'm super excited for you. I will leave all his information down below. So if you
Yeah.
guys want to check
Follow
on
me.
what Matt's doing, if you are interested in something he did in Korea or piloting or whatever it is, you can
I've got so much information.
Are your
Please
DMs
let me.
open?
My DMs are open.
DMs
I've
are
got,
open.
I've got too much knowledge. Please take it away from me. So,
Yes.
like, just help me offload this knowledge. Make it useful, because otherwise I'm a walking
Yeah.
Wikipedia that no one uses anymore. And like it's
use Matt.
yeah,
Okay.
Use me. Wait.
Pause. Pause, Matt. I don't know what's up with the top of time you're on, but my viewers don't want to use you like that. Pause.
What are you thinking about?
I'm in the cockpit right now.
Oh damn! Paris can't take you anywhere.
I can't. I have to stay home. But thank you so much, Matt, for coming
Thank you
on
for
the
having
show.
me.
Thank you guys for watching another episode of Korea Unfiltered. Don't forget to like, subscribe, and share with your friends. If you are a podcast listener, don't forget to give us 5 stars so we can get up in the algorithm. This was another episode of Korea Unfiltered with Matt. Thank you guys so much for watching, and I'll see you guys on the next video. Bye, guys.